Hello, NBA fans. Every day we have news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a Lakers fan and I ask for your help by subscribing to the channel and giving me your thumbs up. After Anthony Davis left the Lakers, his performance dropped significantly. Many comments have surfaced regarding the Dallas Mavericks entering a team and pursuing several NBA teams in search of a trade for Anthony Davis. Will the Lakers be able to bring him back? It is possible to bring Davis back and keep Austin Reeves. In the proposed trade, the Lakers would send 5 players in a negotiation between 3 teams. A starting 5 with Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Jake LaRavia could be terrifying for any rival in the league. And they would still have in the rotation Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, Drew Timme, Nick Smith Jr., Jackson Hayes, and could still sign 2 or 3 veterans with minimum salaries who are solid players accustomed to playoff games. If the Lakers manage to bring Anthony Davis back, it will be a golden opportunity, because Davis is a relentless defender and that would allow Luka Doncic to showcase his offensive prowess. A move that reshapes the Western Conference once again. If the Lakers show interest in Davis and Dallas agrees to explore the possibility, the trade would represent one of the most dramatic mid-season upsets in recent NBA history. It would deepen the divide between 2 franchises that are heading in opposite directions and highlight how quickly fortunes can change in the league. Los Angeles Lakers receive Anthony Davis. Dallas Mavericks receive Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, 2031 first, 3-pick swaps. Brooklyn Nets receive Dalton Knecht, 2032 Lakers second. Why the Lakers are positioned to exploit this moment. Los Angeles is one of the few teams with flexibility, expiring contracts, and a clear identity centered around an MVP-caliber Luka. The organization also has a strong understanding of Davis's value, what he looks like at his peak, and how to build a roster that maximizes his presence. The Lakers have long been the environment where Davis has thrived. The team protected him physically, allowed him to share responsibilities with other bigs, and created a structure that supported longer stretches of health. Their 2020 championship run showcased that formula, with Davis, Dwight Howard, and JaVale McGee forming one of the most dominant frontcourt rotations in the league. This year's roster follows the same philosophy. DeAndre Ayton brings size and skill, but his play has fluctuated, and an early injury scare raised questions about reliability. The Lakers have always looked strongest when they can rotate several bigs through the paint, and Davis would instantly stabilize that group again. The formula worked before and would only become more effective with Luka at the controls. In this scenario, Jackson Hayes slides in as the third big, filling the role once held by Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee during the championship run. With Dallas under pressure and Davis's value dropping, Los Angeles can craft a package using its expiring contracts and a future first-round pick. That offer creates financial flexibility for Dallas and gives the organization a reset point at the end of the year. The inclusion of future pick swaps adds the type of long-term upside that rebuilding teams often seek when conditions shift unexpectedly. Lakers' Luka Doncic shows off MVP stuff against Mavericks in first meeting with Cooper Flagg. In one sweeping motion, Luka Doncic threw his former team's defensive coverage in disarray, leaving him face-to-face with Cooper Flagg, the Mavericks rookie thrust into the spotlight following Doncic's emotional departure from Dallas 9 months ago. Doncic swung his arms and shifted his body to his right, the side Flagg was desperately attempting to shield, and charged toward the rim. With the Mavericks' hopes of help defense eliminated, Doncic was presented with a gift, and he opened it with the veracity of a wide-eyed child on Christmas Day. In actuality, Doncic's basket was a muted response to Flagg's mid-range jumper over him a few possessions earlier. Lost amid the high stakes of Friday's NBA Cup Group play finale, the Lakers had already punched their knockout stage ticket while the Mavericks had reached their limit, was the first matchup between Doncic and Flagg, and the first matchup between the Lakers and Mavericks since Nico Harrison's firing earlier this month. The intertwining of DNA between both franchises is undeniable, stronger than a late November meeting. Players and coaches have switched sides over the years. And on Friday evening, there were a few other underlying storylines at Crypto.com Arena, a tale of two franchises heading in opposite directions, the juxtaposition of a team with an array of multifaceted creators and one still searching for stability, and Anthony Davis's first matchup against the Lakers since being traded. But the Doncic flag tilt was the most important affair on the docket. And to be fair, Flag didn't shy away from the moment. On multiple occasions, his aggression and versatility were on display, whether it was going band for band with Doncic, stepping in LeBron James' way to send the 40-year-old to the ground in a transition-saving play, or trying to make the right reads. "I think he's a good player," Doncic said. "Obviously, there's a lot of pressure that comes with the first pick. He has a lot on his shoulders. But I think he will be a great player." Flag finished with 13 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds and 3 steals, but ultimately proved no match for Doncic, who finished with 35 points, 11 assists and 5 rebounds on 10-4-18 shooting in a 129-119 win. Such is life these days in the City of Angels. The Lakers have historically been a one-name town. Magic, Shaq, Kobe, Kareem, LeBron. Now, Luka. This is his team, his city. When Doncic emerges from the tunnel to take the floor for his pregame warm-up, the entire arena soars with praise. During player introductions, his name is called last, a privilege routinely reserved for the game's most important players. When he touches the ball, he's greeted by an array of defensive coverages, outright blitzes to take the ball out of his hands, early and late rotations, traps, zone, and everything thrown his way but the kitchen sink. There aren't many NBA players that could reduce James, arguably a top 2 player of all time, to a weak side cutter and tertiary playmaker. But such is the marvel of Doncic, leading the way for a scorching hot Lakers team that has won 6 in a row and sits in second place in the Western Conference behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. Doncic entered Friday's game averaging 38.5 points, 9.3 assists and 8.5 rebounds per game, despite a usage rate that has skyrocketed to a career-high 44.9% since James' return. That Doncic is churning out production for himself while remaining a central figure for his teammates, assisting on nearly 42% of their shots, per cleaning the glass, is nothing short of MVP status. The presence of DeAndre Ayton, a mobile, rim-running two-way talent, has enabled Doncic to lean fully into his pick-and-roll attack, too. On Friday, the Lakers finished the game shooting nearly 60% from the field and dished out 27 total assists. "Over the last 2 games, we've made our shots," Doncic said. "When we share the ball and play how we need to, we get a lot of good shots, and that's what we need to take." It's Doncic's gravity that creates room for the rapid rise of Austin Reeves, who finished with an efficient 38 points and looks the part of an excellent release valve and offensive engine in his own right. It's the fear of Doncic's pick-and-roll dominance that has given way to Ayton's resurgence as a screener and finisher. It's the trust in Doncic as a lead option that allows James to fill in the gaps as a surefire first-ballot Hall of Famer, finding optimal screening angles and being connective tissue. Head coach J.J. Redick has preached about the importance of the scheme, but Doncic is the system. "I think he's done a good job throughout the year of finding balance, whether he's on or off ball, of hunting threes and touching the paint," Redick said. "When he's in that mode, he's just really hard to guard. He's really been in a groove with that balance, particularly late in games." Still, the Lakers will tell you they're far from a finished product. For one, Redick is still experimenting with his big three to find the best usage and synergy. Prior to Friday's win, the Lakers had somehow been outscored by 18 points in the 55 minutes that Doncic, James, and Reeves shared the floor. Last season, that trio barely registered as a net positive. Simple reads that involve high-level thinkers, such as the opening possession of the game, are a good place to start. When the Mavericks immediately sent a double at Doncic, he sent an over-the-top pass to James, who found Reeves on the wing for an open three. Given that the Lakers are just 26th in attempted and made threes, and 21st in three-point percentage, opening more looks that stem from Doncic, James, or Reeves being pressured should result in good processes. "We play 4-on-3, that's the easiest basketball we can play," Doncic added. "I always accept that. The Doncic-led Lakers are now owners of the NBA's fifth-ranked offense. And Doncic has proven himself worthy of a team and system being built in his image. As long as he continues on this path, and Reeves and James maximize their opportunities, there's no reason why this Lakers team can't be considered a legitimate threat to the Thunder and the rest of the Western Conference. Rui Hachimura gets real on roll with Lakers. I'm not trying to be a superstar. Rui Hachimura has been with the Los Angeles Lakers for nearly 3 years now, and he has certainly enjoyed his time with the team. Hachimura has established himself as an important piece for the Lakers, and he had a great response when asked about his role with the team on Friday. "I'm not trying to be a superstar or anything," Hachimura said, via Dave McMenamin. "I'm just trying to help the team win. Whatever they asked for. And then again, I like my role here. I'm not trying to be a big three. I'm really trying to win the championship with this team. I like how they've been treating me," Hachimura continued. "Giving the roles and everything. Very specific. Especially JJ Redick has been pretty good with that. So, I'm happy." Hachimura, who is averaging 14.9 points, 3.9 rebounds, 1.1 assists, 0.6 steals, and 0.3 blocks per game in 2025-26, has played his role well, for the most part, during his time with the Lakers. The 27-year-old has never tried to be something he is not and understands the hierarchy. The Lakers acquired Hachimura from the Washington Wizards in January 2023 for Kendrick Nunn and 3 second-round picks. It wasn't a move that generated a lot of buzz at the time, but it has proven to be one of the better ones that general manager Rob Pelinka has made. Hachimura has been the Lakers' best three-point shooter for years now. The Japanese forward shot 42.2% from beyond the arc in 2023-24 and then 41.3% in 2024-25. You wouldn't have imagined he'd be able to better those numbers significantly this time around, but he has. Hachimura is shooting a ridiculous 48.3% from 3 on 3.8 attempts per game in 2025-26. Among Lakers who are averaging over 3 three-pointers a game this season, he is only one shooting better than 35%, which tells you just how much better he has been than everyone else. Luka Doncic stated that Hachimura is very underrated, as he doesn't get much credit for the Lakers' wins. "The superstars are the ones who dominate the headlines, but the forward isn't losing much sleep over that." Rui Hachimura on facing off against Anthony Davis. For much of Hachimura's time with the Lakers, Anthony Davis was by his side in the front court. Davis's time with the team then came to an end in February 2025 when he was sent to the Dallas Mavericks as part of the shocking Doncic trade. With the Mavericks and the Lakers facing off for the first time this season on Friday, Hachimura spoke about facing his former teammate. "It's still weird sometimes when I see him on the TV or when I play against him," Hachimura stated, via Kobe Price. "It feels weird. I had a good relationship with him off the court and on the court. I miss him, of course, but it's a business. I'm happy for him, whatever he got going on over there." Davis has had a difficult season, having missed significant time due to a left calf strain. He suffered the injury against the Indiana Pacers on October 29 and ended up being sidelined for 14 games. Davis, interestingly, seemed very keen on returning against the Lakers, and it will be interesting to see how impactful he proves to be in the contest. NBA scouts call out Lakers' key weakness this year. The Los Angeles Lakers haven't lost a game with star forward LeBron James back in the lineup after he made his long-awaited season debut November 18 against the Utah Jazz. With James, Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, the Lakers feature one of the most lethal trios in the league. In his 3 games back, James is averaging nearly 18 points per game, adding 5 rebounds and 8.7 assists. Meanwhile, Doncic is making an early case to win the league's Most Valuable Player award, averaging over 35 points per game with 8.8 rebounds and 9.2 assists per game. To cap it off, Reeves is having by far the best season of his young career, averaging 27.9 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. Nearly 7 months after their early exit in the first round of the playoffs last season, the Lakers are showing signs of contending for their 18th NBA title. However, the Lakers have shown some weaknesses in the first month of the 2025-26 season. The Lakers are struggling to protect the rim in the paint, allowing 69% shooting inside of 5 feet, the fourth worst mark in the NBA. NBA insiders shared insights as to how the rest of the league views the Lakers with ESPN's Tim Bontemps in his takeaways from the first month of the NBA season. Are they up there with Oklahoma City, Denver, and Houston? No, an East scout said on where the Lakers stack up in the Western Conference. But they're clearly in the top 6. Their depth overall isn't good, but their top-line talent makes them a team I wouldn't want to see in the playoffs. Opinions on LA vary. Other scouts have more optimistic outlooks on the Lakers' ceiling, with one citing the stellar play of Doncic as a reason the Lakers can't be counted out of a competitive conference. They're top 3 for sure. When you have Luka, you're always going to be in the mix, the West scout said. The Lakers currently sit second in the Western Conference. Chasing Oklahoma City, which has lost just one game this season, will be a tough battle, but the Lakers should continue to contend for a top spot in the conference. Emirates NBA Cup knockout round bracket set as Lakers host Spurs in quarterfinals. The Los Angeles Lakers finished group play of the Emirates NBA Cup on a high note, beating the Dallas Mavericks 129-119. The Lakers had already clinched West Group B with their win against the LA Clippers earlier in the week, but their win against the Mavericks locked them into the number 2 seed of the West bracket of the knockout rounds. Both the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Lakers finished with perfect 4-0 records, but the former snagged the number 1 seed by virtue of their plus 75-point differential. With group play over, the knockout round is scheduled to start in December. The Thunder will host the Phoenix Suns, who claimed the wild card spot, while the Lakers will host the San Antonio Spurs. Both the Suns and Spurs finished with 3-1 records and will be tough outs. In the East bracket, the Orlando Magic and Toronto Raptors won their respective groups with perfect 4-0 records, while the New York Knicks and Miami Heat will join them in the next round. The Magic earned the number 1 seed and will host the Heat, while the Raptors enter as the number 2 seed and will host the Knicks. For Los Angeles, they might catch a break hosting San Antonio as Victor Wembanyama has been out of the lineup due to a calf injury. While the Spurs have managed well enough in his absence, the Lakers would figure to be favored if the superstar big man is unable to return. Meanwhile, Oklahoma City will be massive favorites to win out against Phoenix due to their collective star power and defense. In the East, Orlando has been surging, though Miami shouldn't be counted out after Tyler Herro returned. Lastly, Toronto's been the surprise of the Eastern Conference and has a good chance of advancing despite New York's experience. The Emirates NBA Cup should be considered a success as teams have taken a liking to the extra competition. The prize money for each player also doesn't hurt, but the biggest takeaway is that fans are resonating with the event, and it should be exciting to see all 8 teams face off once the knockout rounds begin. The quarterfinals will be played in home arenas on December 9th and 10th before the tournament shifts to Las Vegas for the semifinals and finals on December 13th and 15th, respectively. Considering the Lakers' NBA Cup court was slippery and they didn't use it on Friday against the Mavericks, it will be interesting to see if it's ready to go by December 10th or if they again use their normal court.